Okay guys, rain, sleet, or snow, I am back with another crypto video. This whole video is gonna end up just being really just like a SEC focused video, just really covering a couple topics related to the dumpster fire that is the SEC, and really documenting a couple stories showcasing their plans to ultimately destroy the retail investors. First story here reads: SEC Chair Gary Gensler, aka Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, blames Kraken for choosing not to follow the law. Gensler warns that the runway for crypto firms to register with the SEC is getting awfully short. The crypto industry uproar following the SEC's crackdown on staking services has been heard far and wide, yet the agency's chairman isn't budging an inch. Speaking in Squawk Box on Friday, SEC Chair Gary Gensler blamed Kraken for failing to register its staking as a service product with the commission and for not providing the relevant risk disclosures. He also dismissed the common criticism that there is a lack of clear rules that govern crypto, or that there is no clear path to register such products. There's a clear way to do this, and there are forms on our website, he said. I think it's just a talking point that the industry is using. They know how to do this. They are just choosing not to do it. Crypto staking is both how proof of stake blockchains secure their networks and validate transactions, and how these networks issue tokens. Kraken's staking service, also provided by many other larger exchanges and companies, allows the company to stake customer assets on their behalf. This locks up or pledges their assets to their associated blockchain networks and generates yield, often between 4% and 7% APY, which is then split between all parties on Thursday. The SEC forced Kraken to discontinue that service to its US clients and pay $30 million in penalties. Kraken can offer investment contracts and investment schemes, but they have to have full, fair, and truthful disclosure that this puts the investors who watch your program in a better position, said Gensler. They were not complying with that basic law. On Wednesday, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong warned that a regulatory crackdown on retail staking services in the United States was coming down the pipe. He and other critics of the SEC's actions argued at the time that staking services, in fact, do not involve securities transactions, stating that staking provides scalability and energy efficiency to the industry. Following the enforcement action, both Armstrong and the SEC's crypto-friendly commissioner, Hester Pierce, claimed that the regulator had provided no way to register for staking providers, calling the commission's offers disingenuous. Crypto-friendly Congressman Tom Emmer was equally critical of the SEC's action, arguing that Gensler's regulatory purgatory strategy will only drive crypto investments opportunities offshore. Such has already been the case with crypto companies seeking to launch a Bitcoin spot ETF, another product that continues to be stonewalled by the commission, much to the industry's dismay. Nevertheless, Gensler made it clear that his patience with non-compliant crypto firms is wearing thin, saying other industries have had little problem with registration. It's time for this group to do so, he said. The runway is getting awfully short, and we're here to try to protect the investing public. Now, that all was just a massive load of crap, obviously. Gary Gensler keeps claiming that all you have to do is register or come talk to them. Meanwhile, the people at Ripple tried to do the right thing. They tried to come and talk to you and get understanding on where do they stand in this murky gray area territory. And you guys lied to them, misled them, made them believe that everything was all good and they should be fine. And then you turn around and slap them with a lawsuit. or slapped them with a lawsuit and completely devastated a bunch of people who are invested in XRP and have completely stifled XRP's growth and what it can do in America. Like, this is just a haunting cloud that's been hovering over Ripple and XRP's head for the past almost 3 years now. And meanwhile, y'all are sitting here pretending like all these companies got to do is come talk to us. No, they don't. At the end of the day, cryptos are not securities. Especially when you refuse to acknowledge the fact that the main crypto, that the main project / crypto that should by your own ridiculous inconsistent standards should be considered a security is Ethereum. You completely turn a blind eye to that, and you want to pretend like nobody notices. Like, at the end of the day, this is a complete load of nonsense. These companies, they're really trying to set these companies up with the okie doke. They have no interest in trying to actually make it protect investors. Their goal is to just gain power within a new financial class. That's what this boils down to. There is no law, there is no official documents. There is nothing set in stone in America on a federal level that has deemed cryptocurrencies as a whole as a security. It's simply not the case. But the reason they're trying to get as many companies as possible to hurry up and just come register with us is because they want to turn around, sue those very companies, but then also use that as more leverage to try to gain power within this new asset class. Because if they gain enough power, if enough companies just bend the knee and just fold, hey, then by default, as they actually finally start rolling out any sort of real clarity, they're gonna try to grandfather the SEC in automatically, and they don't deserve it. It's laughable how many times these people lie about how they want to protect investors, but clearly all they've done so far is wreak havoc and destroy investors. Next SEC story here. Congressmen launch probe into SEC's handling of FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. House Republicans are calling on the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to explain how it investigated the collapse of the crypto exchange. Members of the United States House of Representatives are looking for answers regarding how the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission investigated the collapse of FTX. They probably were invested too. But on Friday, Republican Representatives Bill Huizenga and Patrick McHenry sent a letter to SEC Chair Gary Gensler requesting documents into the agency's investigation into FTX and handling of its founder and former CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried. The representatives assert that the Committee on Financial Services has jurisdiction to oversee the agency's activities. The letter calls into question the timing of Bankman-Fried's arrest in the Bahamas on December 12, 2022, the day before he was set to appear before the House Committee on Financial Services. The planned appearance followed a public back and forth with ranking member Maxine Waters on Twitter. Some lawmakers have called out Gensler and the SEC for failing to prevent FTX's sudden downfall in November, citing previous dealings with the SEC and Bankman-Fried as a purported evidence that the agency should have had a clearer window into the exchange's inner workings. The letter suggests that the representatives still have questions about the timing of Bankman-Fried's arrest in relation to his planned House committee appearance. The timing of the charges and Bankman-Fried's arrest raised serious questions about the SEC's process and cooperation with the Department of Justice, they wrote. The American people deserve transparency from you and your agency. The letter asked Gensler to turn over all records and communication from and within the agency's Division of Enforcement between November 2nd, 2022 and February 9th, 2023. including communications to Gensler, the SEC Director Gerber Grual, and the U.S. Department of Justice. Presumably, the SEC's Division of Enforcement did a complete investigation into the actions by Sam Bankman-Fried, they wrote in a letter, and presented the findings to the commissions for its review and to authorize charges. FTX filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on November 11th, and Bankman-Fried stepped down as the CEO. Bankman-Fried spent the last month out on an apology tour for the collapse of FTX, and before he was arrested on December 12th. He was extradited to the United States on December 21st to face 8 counts of fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy. Now, do I expect the SEC to actually turn over any documents? I don't expect them to. They're literally in a case with Ripple right now, where the judge has asked them on several occasions to turn over documents, and they simply refuse to do it. So there's no reason at all for me to believe that they're gonna actually do it now. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below.